Hello everybody and welcome to another Stay Connected Taijiquan session. I'd like to talk to you today a little bit about introducing some Neigong or internal energy work into your form. Most of you, or a lot of you, have done Yang style Tai Chi with us and have started learning the Foundation 24 step. And you all know the first movement after preparation for Taijiquan, which is called commencement. Now, during this period of isolation when we're all at home and we've got plenty of time to practice, I'd like to introduce a little bit more detail into how we can do commencement as an internal exercise, as a Neigong exercise. So the first thing I want to talk about is how we reference the breath in that movement. So what I want you to think about is how the breath connects to, first of all, the lower back or the belly area, and then the middle back and the diaphragm area, and then the upper back, okay, which is around the top of the shoulder blades. The lungs actually reach that high. And so what we're going to build on is how we breathe in and out using those heights of the back during the in-breath, and then coming down the front and relaxing back into the belly during the out-breath. And this occurs in two phases. We have a passive in-breath where the chi, if you like, as well as the breath is rising up the spine from the lower back to the middle back area, and then an active in-breath where we really get much higher up the back, but also the chi rises to the head top. It then comes over the top of the face and down the face, and then down the front of the body back into the belly during the exhale. And the exhale has two phases as well, a passive exhale and an active exhale. So when we breathe in, we start with this feeling of breath drawing from the perineum into the lower belly and onto the lower back, and then rising up the spine to the middle back. And then as our breath becomes full, the inhale becomes active, and the breath fills all the lungs as much as it can up to the top of the back, but also the chi rises all the way to the head top. And then we have a passive exhale as the chi drops down the front of the face and down the chest back into the belly. So we have and hopefully you notice that difference between the active and passive qualities in the inhale and the exhale. So when we do our commencement, we can use this as a Neigong breath exercise. So we're breathing in as the arms rise, and then we're breathing out as they lower. And when we reach the point where we go into an active exhale at the very end of our breath cycle, we use that active quality of the breath to sink also into the legs, for the hands to push down slightly, causing the feet to pressurize into the ground. So the inhale is passive and then active as it fills up our structure all the way to the head top. The hands rise to the shoulders, and then passive, relaxing, everything releasing down the front, but then active, sinking into the legs as we push down. So let me show you this sideways. Okay. So beginning with the in-breath, and I'll just make the sounds. You don't have to make the sounds, but just to help you understand the quality of the breath here. So we begin. So for a little while, when you've got some extra time, I'd like you to think about practicing your breath in this way within the shape of commencement in the Foundation 24 and the 24-step form. Okay. In later videos, I'll give you a little bit more detail about how we also connect the wrists and the ankles, the elbows and the knees, and also the armpits and the hip or the qua, the inguinal fold, into this movement, so that we have an integrated movement that actually creates the quality of pang and an, of the energy of commencement, also integrates into the movement, and we also use the breath in that. Just to give you a little heads up on that, I will show you this movement now. Again, I'll do it sideways, and hopefully you'll see some movement now in the legs. I'll try and make this a little bit bigger, but you'll see some movement in the legs and the way that the legs coordinate with the arms during this movement. So this is called the combinations, or the 6 combinations: ankles with wrist, knees with elbow, and qua here with armpits and shoulders. Okay. So there we had ankles and wrists, elbows and knees, armpits and qua. The chi has risen to the head top at this point, and then as it drops down the body and the breath exhales, we have armpits, qua, elbows, knee, and wrist sitting, and ankle pushing down into the ground, the ankles really causing the soles of the feet to pressurize down. Release, open, pang or ward off, pressurize down, sitting the wrists, on or push down. Okay, but more of that later. Hope you enjoyed that session. Speak to you again soon.